Thank you so much, Alice. That was so interesting, and there's lots of lovely feedback for you in the chat box. So hopefully you'll be able to have a look at that later as well. But really thought provoking. So we have a number of questions for you. So first question I'm going to start with is, how do you suggest we can apply the two ways of thinking to the forgotten pillars?
I think really it's about trying to make sure that we're not working in our little silos. I think interagency working is so important, and I'm really thrilled to work with you and Anna. And I'm trying to get my students to have more opportunities for interprofessional working, because I think actually interprofessional working is key. The other thing we talk about is flipped and group work. So I think it's really important that we start by giving people the opportunity to look at ideas themselves, so that you can bring ideas that then are respected by everyone, and then we can look at it in teams. But I think if we have interagency working, we have interprofessional working, and we respect each other and what each other can bring, it's absolutely key. It's absolutely core. And I think, yeah, that's my kind of biggest thing, that we can learn so much from each other. I learn so much from my colleagues, and it's so easy to be, yeah, I'm an OT and OT's the best, and physios to be, hey, I'm a physio and physio's the best, and nurses to be, I'm a nurse and they're the best. When actually none of it happens without each other. It's so important.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with you. So we have another question from Phyllis. Have you got any tips and tricks on how to be more uniformly cognizant to reduce biases and address cognitive dissonance?
I think it's being really open to the fact that we might be wrong, because actually all the research I've done has shown that, unfortunately, and it's part of the fact we care so much and we're desperate to do a good job. And actually, what we tend to look for is that we've done a good job. But actually, with the best will in the world, all of us are fallible, all of us are imperfect. And if we did embrace the fact that we all make error, then we would be much open to spot error. And we need to have leadership, whether that's within the same teams or whatever, where we praise each other for finding errors, where we actually bring a atmosphere of, it's okay to say, have you thought about that, doing that differently? And to literally flip our ideas. I had involuntary childlessness and I got depressed as a result. It was such a good learning curve. I really understood how easy it was for your thoughts to change, how people treated you in a very specific way. I really felt how it was not to be considered an expert in my own life. And I think really service user involvement, really trying to listen to other people's experiences, is absolutely huge in this. I've talked about interprofessional working and interagency working, but actually clients need to be part of shaping what we do. It's absolutely huge. We have a guy called Michael Owama, or Dr. Owama, who is very kind of senior in the OT world, and he says we ought to be kneeling at the feet of our clients to learn from their experiences, and they should be shaping our understanding of the different concepts that we use. And I think that's really, really powerful. This belonging centre practice that I'm proposing has been a lot from really listening to clients, really listening to other people's experiencing. I did my dissertation on other people's experience of involuntary childlessness. And it was amazing to understand the voice of the lived experience. It put my experience into a format that I could understand it. And because I could understand it, I could do something with it. And then it became a learning experience. And that's basically led to Belonging Centre Practice, which I'm being funded to do my PhD on now, which is amazing, from the Castle Memorial Trust. But I think it's being open to the fact that we might be thinking in a way that I love just inverting. What if? What if we didn't have people be independent? What if person centered practice isn't the be all and end all? What if clients were the ones that initiated the contact? What if? And I think exposure to different ideas really helps. Like I talk about the book Humankind, and they give fantastic examples, like um, whereby the guy who designed Scandinavian playgrounds realised they were really deathly and dull for children, and they were super safe, but actually they didn't challenge them. And he made scrapyard playgrounds, and the initial horror of the idea of children playing in scrapyards is obviously instantaneous. But actually what they found was in a year time there was nothing more than a plaster that needed to be applied, because children understood that actually there was a risk. And actually, there was less conflict, there was less fighting, the children would play for hours. And a lady from the UK came across and she saw it and she was like, oh, we could use some of the old bomb sites, we could use scrapyards. And they started doing it. And it was helicopter parenting who came in and said, no, this is too dangerous. No, this is an eyesore. But actually, if you look now, psychologists are saying children need risky and structured play. That was exactly what it gave. But our initial instinct is children could be in danger. It can't be right. So I think we need to question ourselves and be open to new learning.
Yeah, I agree. Users and stakeholders absolutely at the centre. And thank you so much, Alice, for sharing. That was really brave of you to give us some personal insights as well to some of the challenges that you've faced. Now, we do have more
I'm nice
questions, but
about it.
unfortunately, we've run out of time. So, if
Sorry,
possible,
folks.
can we give these to you and ask you to respond to them later? Would that be
Yeah,
okay?
no problem. More than happy to. And I'm at
Um,
Laughing OT, so if anyone wants to contact me in the future, I'm happy to give my slides away, etc. It was a mousse bouche, it was a tiny taster, which
Yeah, and that resonated with a lot of us, I think, as well. So thank you for a really after lunch thought provoking presentation, because I think it's really given us all a lot of ideas. And thanks so much for your time, Alice.
thank you, it's delightful.